Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome His Excellency Senator Mohammad Ishaq Dar Sahab.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Nahmadu wa nusalli ala Rasul al-Kareem. Honorable Hazrat Justice Sheikh Taqi Usmani Sahab, Janab Ashraf Mahmood Batra Sahab, Janab Saeed Ahmed Sahab, Janab Dr. Ishaq Hussain Sahab, Dr. Azmi Umar, Professor Dr. Abbas Mira Khor, Dr. Farrikh Iqbal, distinguished foreign guests, scholars, business and banking leaders, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum and very good afternoon. It is indeed a great pleasure for me to be present at this very prestigious event. I feel honored to be sharing the stage with a visionary person like Sheikh Taqi Usmani and many other learned friends. As Deputy Governor mentioned, as very humble Muslims, soon after we won the elections, Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif and myself, we decided that we should, as Muslims, try our best to promote the Islamic finance industry in Pakistan. It was with that decision that soon after I took oath as Finance Minister, I advised State Bank of Pakistan to consider establishing centers of excellence in Islamic finance, as well as I set up a committee, steering committee for promotion of Islamic banking in Pakistan. And alhamdulillah, today we see, as we just heard, that with efforts of State Bank of Pakistan and particularly Deputy Governor Saeed Ahmed and Dr. Ishaq Hussain, we have 3 centers of excellence in Islamic finance already established in Pakistan. So I compliment Dr. Ishaq Hussain, I compliment the whole team and Saeed Ahmed Saab for doing this wonderful job. At the same time, we are all happy to see how the Center of Excellence in Karachi has developed since I inaugurated it last year. Dr. Ishaq and his team deserve great appreciation for their commitment and outstanding performance. I would take this opportunity to also acknowledge the support and technical assistance extended to Pakistan by the Islamic Development Bank over the years. I would like to extend my gratitude to IDB through Dr. Azmi Umar, Director General IRTI, with special reference to intellectual support for CIFs. Ladies and gentlemen, the theme of today's conference, which is going to be understand 2 days, Roadmap for Future and Critical Success Factors, is of course very strategic. I'm sure that you will be hearing some prominent speakers over the course of these 2 days who will be giving their insights into issues of Islamic finance. We have already heard wonderful speeches and very thought-provoking speeches of the learned speakers who are on the dais this morning, starting from Justice Taqi Usmani and Governor, Deputy Governor, Professor Abbas Mira Khor, and Dr. Umar. So I believe that the knowledge, skills, and experience of delegates from different jurisdictions today assembled here will be of great value for our domestic practitioners and would help us in carving out a future path for the sustainable growth of Islamic finance industry in Pakistan. Islamic economic system is not only about prohibition of interest, but it also promotes values such as social responsibility, transparency, and accountability. Though Islamic finance has been around for the last 5 decades, the inherent emphasis of Islamic finance on real economy and on wider ethical codes, in my opinion, has attracted more attention in post-2008 financial crisis, which were obviously very global. Islamic finance today is being acknowledged as an economic system which can provide answers to banking stability issues that the world is currently facing. Eradication of poverty, promotion of socio-economic justice, and equitable distribution of wealth are among the primary goals of the Islamic economic system. Ladies and gentlemen, the history of Islamic finance in Pakistan can be traced back to the global history of Islamic finance. We were among the pioneer countries that allowed the practice of Islamic finance. Efforts were made during 1980s on the legal, regulatory, and supervisory fronts, which were recognized at international level. Unfortunately, these initiatives could not produce the desired results. However, the industry has been growing at an impressive rate since it was relaunched in the last decade as a parallel to conventional banking. Our government has been committed to accelerate the development of this industry, as we not only consider the implementation of this system as our religious duty, but also believe in its supremacy for inclusive development and broad-based growth. Let me share with you that bankers I can see here from the Islamic finance industry. This is my standing instructions to the Ministry of Finance in Q Block. Whenever they need to raise funds or replace some repayable debt, their first preference should be to resort to the Islamic finance. I think people are here who could witness that. So this resolve and this instruction has been standard and will continue to be forced. I think there are certain issues which need to be resolved, and I think certain issues have been already highlighted, and I'm sure some more constraints or bottlenecks which the industry is facing need to be attended to with priority. And I think this global conference of 2 days is going to be great help in taking us in a leap forward way in the right direction. Our conviction toward Islamic finance is evident from our different initiatives and full-fledged support at all levels in the last 3 years. For example, a high-level steering committee, as I explained, was set up in 2013. The committee, in its tenure of 2 years, I must appreciate, has worked very diligently, ensuring that it should give a real push to the growth of the Islamic industry in Pakistan. We'll come later about what Hazrat Taqi Usmani Sahab has indicated and what could be the solution, and what Mr. Saeed Ahmed also has indicated. Let me share with you that generating funds from the global market using Sukuk, after a gap of 9 years, Pakistan has been absent from the international Sukuk market. And I see some financial institutions sitting, their representatives sitting here in this hall, who supported me, and I took Pakistan back to international Islamic Sukuk market after 9 years, after I assumed office. So we must remain committed to this approach as a Muslim, and as office holder, this is also Allah's amanat with us. Introduction of recent amendments in the State Bank of Pakistan Act, which now allows the central bank to issue Sharia-compliant instruments, and 2% income tax cut through Finance Bill 2016-17, just in June this year, for all Sharia-compliant listed manufacturing companies are few examples in this regard. Ladies and gentlemen, our government desires to tap on the surplus liquidity of Islamic banking industry to fund infrastructure projects. I think the demand side is there. And the country which was having a very nominal growth of less than 3% has already crossed 4, has reached near 5, and is destined, inshallah, God willing, by 2018-19, 7%. I think this would require resources and out-of-box planning and solution, not only the Ministry of Finance, but also at the central bank, and particularly within the Islamic finance industry. This indicates a huge potential market for Islamic banking industry, especially in infrastructure and energy sectors, to supplement China-Pakistan economic corridor package, which is worth $46 billion. I believe that a portion of these projects, in line with the availability of funds and the capacity of Islamic financial institutions, may be taken up by the Islamic finance industry. Currently, work is also in progress for developing a dedicated legal framework for Islamic banking industry at the State Bank of Pakistan under the guidance of Deputy Governor Saeed Ahmad. Ladies and gentlemen, in order to provide level playing field to the industry, tax treatment of sukuk has been brought at par with conventional papers, bonds, last week on 31st of August through promulgation of an ordinance in order to support issuance of and investment in sukuks. Given the potential of Islamic finance towards ensuring broad-based economic growth and development, we believe that this Sharia-compliant system can be an effective tool towards reducing both voluntary and involuntary financial exclusion, which was referred to by the Governor State Bank in the country. In this backdrop, we have launched Pakistan's first national financial inclusion strategy, which includes Islamic finance as a strategic area for achieving greater financial inclusion in Pakistan. Ladies and gentlemen, while talking about the growth of Islamic finance and its ability to cater to all segments, I would like to draw your attention to the fact that Islamic finance has remained concentrated in few areas only. I think one of the learned speakers has also mentioned this. Globally as well as domestically, Islamic financial institutions have not been able to cater to strategic sectors. I believe that the industry should not remain complacent with tradition, model, and methodologies. Instead, Islamic financial institutions and the industry need to resort to innovative products based on distinctive Sharia characteristics. This highlights the significance of research and development. We need to change our perceptions and invest in research as a core ingredient of our strategic objectives, which is Islamization of the whole economic system over a period of few years. This also requires close interaction between academia and industry. I expect that these newly established centers of excellence in Islamic finance education, inshallah, will play an instrumental role for this purpose. I am also urged to emphasize on the role of technology. We have seen that the model of branchless banking has produced impressive results in enhancing financial inclusion in Pakistan. Islamic finance can also leverage on technology to increase its penetration to the lowest spectrum of population, the microfinance clients. On a lighter note, I would strongly advise, unfortunately, the Islamic finance industry leaders have also resorted to the conventional bankers, and they keep busy in golf playing most of the time than doing the real business. So they just take it as a challenge. And I think Pakistan is a great role. The cost of delivery of services may be reduced by use of such technology. This will be, inshallah, a win-win situation for both sides, as on demand side, there will be enhanced access to finance, and on the supply side, This will not only bring diversification, but will also address the criticism on the industry of not catering to low-income segments. Let me point out that with growing expansion of Islamic finance industry, and you heard the figures from Governor State Bank, 1.8. About a year back, we were hearing 1.3 trillion. Today, the industry side is 1.6 trillion. And now, Governor Saab, I'll ask him to share the report. He's saying by 2020, the industry would be 6.5 trillion internationally. The global Islamic financial industry. It's a great potential. And that reminds me that there was a global Islamic forum conference a couple of years back in UK. And this was probably the first time this forum held Islamic finance conference outside an Islamic country, and that was in London. And I remember Prime Minister of Pakistan was one of the keynote speakers, and so were others. But David Cameron, the former Prime Minister, was also the keynote speaker at that forum. And he said he wasn't doing it for Quran, what Hazrat Taqi Usmani said. He was talking business, commerce, So our niyyah is because we are Muslims, so because we should not do on commercial basis what we are doing. As I said, we had the intention and we implemented it. So David Cameron, I don't know how many friends were there in that conference in London. I accompanied Prime Minister, and he said, this industry is going to leave the conventional industry in due course in a matter of next decade or so. So we would do everything possible to grab as much share of this Islamic finance industry as possible, global share. I think they should be challenged to the leaders of the Islamic finance industry sitting in this forum, that how can you increase your share of the global Islamic finance system so that Pakistan and the people of Pakistan can benefit. And it's a double benefit, because worldly as well as dunyavi, Islami or dunyavi, dono aapke Allah ke fazl o karam se usme fayde. Because you are obeying the command of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, what is directed to you, that you should avoid riba. I wish I should have a magic wand when I came, that I can't change overnight 19 trillion of the debt stock. I wish I can. I would not take a second. If this industry can offer me alternate products and can supply and replace, I assure you, I'm sure, with all due respect to the conventional bankers here, I can only see them sitting here. But things are gradual. Evolution, as long as all of us have niyyah that we have to move towards that direction, I think Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows. Innamal a'malu binniyat. Allah ta'ala knows our niyyah. But it's a great challenge, and it's a commercially viable challenge. The global leaders and the global industry has first time realized who lost post-2008 financial crisis the least? Islamic banking. Conventional banking, because of leverage out of proportion, was hit the worst. So, I believe there is a need of adoption of prudent corporate governance practices and strong risk management framework. Governor is here, his team is here, and the 2 days deliberation would be really a great help to carve the roadmap. Jo Hazrat Taqi Usmani Sahab ne kaha ke he wishes to listen the roadmap. So I will come to that later, but I think the deliberation of these 2 days, and I compliment for arranging this entire event, is going to be great help to the system, to the finance industry, to the government of Pakistan, to the people of Pakistan, inshallah. There has been international recognition of the efforts Pakistan has made over the last 3 years for the promotion of Islamic finance. But are they enough? No. We need to go a long way. I tend to agree with Justice Taqi Usmani Sahab that we got to move fast now. These include, by the way, IDB award for Sheikh Taqi Usmani Sahab. This is a recognition that work is being done in Pakistan. This includes the best central bank for promoting Islamic banking award for the State Bank. This includes Best Deal of the Year award for Sukuk issued by Pakistan, which I just referred after 9 years, taking back Pakistan to the international Islamic finance market, Sukuk market. This includes service excellence in Islamic finance for State Bank. And obviously this includes the Global Islamic Finance, different awards, plus many other recognitions for the Pakistani Islamic banks. So my friends, colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, in conclusion, while Islamic banking has made significant strides globally and domestically, I believe it is still in an evolutionary phase, and relentless efforts are required to confront challenges in keeping the growth momentum of the industry. We cannot take it easy. We have to, work at a very, very fast speed to catch up the gaps. With our sincere and collective efforts, we will, inshallah, be able to meet the challenges facing us and provide our people and the country a Sharia-compliant system that is equitable and transparent. Given our experience in this field and the advantage of having Sharia scholars, research facilities at our universities and business schools, and leading banking professionals sitting here in this room, I am very optimistic that we have potential to emerge as one of the world leaders in Islamic finance, and this journey can be fast-tracked. I keep saying on the economic front, I don't want to just divert the subject, that O'Neill and BBC economist, O'Neill and BBC prediction and the report about Mint, which are the upcoming countries in terms of growth. They say Malaysia, Indonesia, Turkey and Nigeria. The same report says Pakistan by 2050 would be world 18th largest economy from the current 44th largest economy. I always preach and appeal to my colleagues and opposition parties, let's join hands together and achieve this 18th or better position for Pakistan in half the time. I believe it is doable. You can, as a country, you can be 18th or better world economy in late 2030s. Why I'm saying this? My friend Abbas Mirakhor is here, though it was his ex-served this country with intention that you are just serving for the will and for the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and Nabi Pak sallallahu alaihi wasallam. It is nothing but sawab and ibadat. This has been my clear intention that we should serve this country and have the intention, niyyah, that we are doing ibadat to serve the humanity, to serve the Islamic Republic of Pakistan, Jaise Taqi Usmani Sahab, the only country on the globe which was created in the name of La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah. No other country has been, not even Saudi Arabia has been created in the name of La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah. So मैं तो लोगों को कहा करता था, अब तो मैं Senate में 3 tenure हैं और earlier I was in National Assembly and I remember 97 speeches. I used to say anybody who actually ditched this country intentionally or caused any loss, उसका बड़ा भयानक अंजाम हुआ. Or I'm just leaving a question for you to ponder and reflect. Those who were responsible to separate East Pakistan, what happened to them? All the actors. They have gone from this in a very unnatural way. Their Narina Aulad has gone for a very unnatural way from this world. So we should have very clear mind. Any disservice intentionally or any harm caused to this country intentionally will not be spared, in my opinion, because this is the only country which was created in the name of Kalma, La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So, I would request this committee, I will be, Sayyid Sahab, I will be very happy to be part of you. And this notification, inshallah, will be issued very, very much this week from the Ministry of Finance. And the committee should immediately start its implementation work in order to accelerate this process. Let me also assure you and all the stakeholders of Islamic finance industry of my fullest support and cooperation for the promotion of Islamic finance in the country. I have taken a lot of your time. I wish you all the best. I wish the honorable foreign guests a very pleasant stay in Pakistan. I wish all of you a very productive discussions in the next 2 days. And I wish all of you, inshallah, that you are doing, in my opinion, this entire deliberation is for Allah, and inshallah you will be rewarded, and it is ibadat. Thank you very much. God bless you. Pakistan Paindabad.